Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tadho Jayamudhiraye
Tato Jayamudhiraye
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam
Bhagavata
Bhagavata
Sevaya
Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhagavati Uttam Sloke
Bhaktir Bhavadi Naishtigim.
Bhavati.
Thank you, dear devotees, for joining. So we were going through beautiful section of glorifying the Supreme Lord, the context of appearance day of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is nearing on next Monday, that's on August 26th. We are also celebrating weekends in Raj on Sunday with a lot of festivities, cultural programs. And also, we were going through this from the beginning of this month, the glorification of the Supreme Lord. So we can understand what is our position and what is our eternal duty, dharma, that as long as we are human, to realize that what is the best thing that we can do in our life. As we always say, is everything else that we do without in relationship with the Krishna is just nothing but a waste of time, because of the life is meant to realize that Supreme. So that Supreme Lord manifest in this world as in a human form. So Lord appears in many other forms. Lord appears in Malsya, the fish incarnation. Incarnate means to descend to this world, come down to this world. This Lord has innumerable forms. Bhagavatam says we can count even the sands on the ocean of the shore, on shore of the ocean. We can count. But we cannot count the innumerable incarnations of the Lord, forms of the Lord. It's very difficult. So this is the way that we have to understand the Supreme Lord. He is great. That's why he is known as Vibhu. He is Parameshwar. He is the Supreme Parama Ishwar, Supreme Lord. So that Supreme Lord also takes the form of a human and comes down to this world in order to give transcendental pleasure to his devotees and fulfill the desires of his devotees, and at the same time liberate that those who are miscreants, so that they will be also come to that their real consciousness. So when Krishna comes down on this planet, that's one day of Brahma. One day of Brahma is considered as 1,000 yuga cycle. So we know that the Brahma, who is the original living entity in this material world, on this universe. So there, like that, there are thousands of Brahmas like that. Why there are thousands of Brahmas? Because of there are thousands of Brahmandas, thousands of Brahmandas, thousands of universes. Each universe has each Brahma, who is the basically the secondary creator, the Brahma. So when Brahma, secondary creator, means he put the forms to the living entities. So he designs, he forms the bodies for the living entities, so that living entities can get into it. But actually, this is called Visarga. Visarga means secondary creation, and Sarga means the primary creation. The primary creation actually manifests from the Supreme Lord. When Brahma comes from the Supreme Lord. So that's the primary creation. The secondary creation, Brahma does that. In that each universe, Brahma put together these various forms, various bodies of the living entities. So 1 day of Brahma, that means 1,000 yuga cycle. Throughout the day of the Brahma, this creation, Brahma creates these various forms of the life, bodies, and then Brahma also goes to the sleep for the night. So for the daytime of Brahma, there is 1,000 yuga cycle, that we can say that one yuga cycle is considered as 4 Chandra yugas: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So it spans across that for 4.34 million years. So one yuga cycle. So that's the 1 day of Brahma. Sorry, the one yuga cycle. So like that, there is 1,000 yuga cycle. So so this 1,000 yuga cycle, that's the 1 day, that's the 28th millennium of that Brahma, 28th day of that Brahma. Then the Lord appears only once, only once. You always remember that only 1 day of Brahma, the Lord appears. Then after that, immediately after that, Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also appears once in a day of Brahma. So it's very important to understand this. So Lord appears in this world. Lord manifests in this world. Lord descends in this world. So many times people has this misconception that, oh, Krishna is also incarnated. Krishna also avatar. Krishna also takes avatar, incarnate to this world. But remember that in this 28th millennium, 28th the 28th year, Samvalsara, that years that the day that when Krishna appears, that Krishna, the original Krishna appears. The original Supreme Personality appears. But in all the other yuga cycle, like we know that there is Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So Krishna's another name, Lord's another name is also known as Triyugi. Triyugi means Lord appears in each yuga. Satya Yuga, Lord appears in the form of white. In the Treta Yuga, in the color of red. And Dwapara Yuga in the color of black. And then it is mentioned that in the Kali Yuga, which is generally mentioned in the yellow, that's because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears, but it's otherwise it's not mentioned that. So this Lord is known as three yugis. So Lord appears in this. So then the question arises on the other yugas, then what happens? So other yugas, Krishna appears, but not the original Krishna. The Purna Purushottama Krishna doesn't come, but another Krishna incarnation of Krishna appears. Not the original Krishna. That the Krishna's plenary expansions of that Krishna, that Krishna appears. And also plenary expansions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in the Kali Yuga. So that goes like 1,000 yuga cycle. And then in that last, that the 1 day of that one yuga cycle, the 28th millennium of that one, the Krishna originally appears in this world. So that's why Krishna, so the Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago was the original Krishna who manifested in this world. So this is very important to understand. So then that Krishna is revealed to Arjuna that when I come in this material world, the mudhas, the foolish, misunderstands me. Avajanadi mamudam manushim tanumasudam param bhavo ajanando mama bhuta maheswaram. Avajanadi mamuda, the foolish derides me when I appears into this material world. The foolish. And then Krishna also says that the foolish cannot understand me. Naham, in the 7th chapter, Krishna says 25th, Naham pragasya sarvasya yoga maya samavrada logo vijnana abhijanadi logo mam ajam avyayam. Naham pragasya sarvasya, I do not manifest to be unintelligent and foolish. I covered by my internal potency so that they do not know me that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna reveals all this. Krishna also reveals to Arjuna that everything comes from me. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mataha sarvam pravartane. So the devotees, this is very important to understand that Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests to this world to fulfill the desires of his devotees and to give the transcendental pleasure to his devotees. So such wonderful pastimes Lord manifests, Lord reveals when Krishna comes. That's why this significance that when we hear that glories of that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, Janma Karmaja Me Divyam. My appearance and activities are divine. My appearance and transcendental activities are divine. Janma Karmaja Me Divyam. Evam Yovedi Tattvadaha. Tektva Deham Punarjanma Naidi Mamedi. So Arjuna. And one who knows this, my appearance, transcendental appearance and activities which are divine, one who knows this upon leaving the body, never comes back into this material world again. They surely come back to me. The devotees, we all have spiritual identity. That's our original identity. Hey, Krishna, can we put on mute? I think there are some background noise. Yeah. So that's our transcendental, original, real identity is that we are that part of that Supreme, that part of that Supreme Lord. We forget this. So Krishna's another reason to appear in this world to remind us that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are all belongs to him. So at the same time, Krishna also annihilate the miscreant. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrita. One who is inimical, one who has such an enmity towards the devotees, Krishna cannot tolerate that. Krishna cannot tolerate that. So Krishna would personally come. Krishna would personally come. There was one question asked by Akbar to Birbal. Akbar asked Birbal that why Lord has to come down to earth. He can do, he's the controller of everything just because of just wing of his eyes. He just, just by, with one fingertips, he can control everything because of he is seated in everyone's heart. And even these asuras, he is seated in their heart. And from he comes all the forgetfulness comes to these demons, even from Krishna, this forgetfulness comes even to the demons. Then why Krishna has to come down to this earth? Akbar asked this Birbal a question. So Birbal thought about, and Birbal told to Akbar that I would reply this in due course of time. So Akbar said, okay, fine, that's all right. So Birbal was planning how to reply this answer to Akbar. Why Krishna personally coming down to this world? So one day Birbal made a plan. Birbal told to Akbar that we are going for a trip we have to cross over this river. So Birbal told, you take your family, you take your children, everybody together, we are going for a nice trip. So Akbar agreed because of Akbar had great faith to Birbal, yes, minister of Akbar. So Birbal made a plan, he made a boat arrangement, and Akbar and all the other soldiers along with Akbar made a great trip, and Akbar and Birbal, everybody got into the boat, and the boatman started to row the boat. And when it came into the mid of the river, so all on a sudden Birbal did something. Birbal put down something in the water and screamed to Akbar that, Akbar, your child fall down into the water. Akbar, your child fall down into the water. Akbar became very shocked and panicked. And immediately Akbar went down into the water and then collected the things which fall down from the boat. And Akbar bought that and brought back to this boat. It was a toy of a child. It was like a, toy in the form of a child. So Birbal put this toy in the water and Akbar got it and Akbar looked at it and told to Birbal, Birbal, this is not original child. This is a toy. Why did you do that? So then Birbal mentioned to Akbar, oh Akbar, you asked me a question. Why Lord had to come down into this material world personally? So I think that you got your answer. Even though you have your soldiers, your personal servants, everybody surrounded you, but the moment you heard that your child is fall down into the water, you didn't think anything else. Immediately you jumped down into the water because of you have great love for your child. Like that, O Akbar, the Lord has great love for their children, their devotees. So as soon as the devotees are in trouble, Krishna doesn't think anything else. He would come personally to protect that devotee. So the devotees throughout this Krishna Leela, we can see that the moment Krishna sees that his devotees, their devotees are, in danger, or some desires that devotees had. So last week we were going through when the desires that the Gopas and his friends had a desire to eat this tala fruits. When Talavan, that's where the Dhenukasura was ruling, he was not allowing anybody to come in. And Talavan, the fruits, which is so delicious, when the birds take this and pick this and bring it to the other villages, they come to know that this is very sweet and tala fruits. They had a desire to have that. What did Krishna did? Immediately Krishna and Balaram went to the Talavan and killed Dhenukasura. So when the Krishna saw that the entire forest, Vrindavan, is devoured by the fire, the forest fire, what Krishna did? Krishna saw that the devotees are in danger. What Krishna did? Krishna just swallowed that fire. When Bagasura comes, then Agasura comes, and see that when the devotees were seeing that, they were not able even near to go to the Yamuna river because of the poisonous effect of the Kaliya. Krishna decided and understood that the desires of his devotees, that they were not able to go and play on this side of these banks of the Yamuna. So Krishna understood the desires of his devotees. What Krishna did, Krishna jumped into the water from a Kadamba tree and came to the, Kaliya. Kaliya immediately came, but Krishna subdued the Kaliya. And all the poison came out from the Kaliya, and Kaliya left from there. Why? Because of Krishna was fulfilling the desires and protecting his devotees. So like that, there is a beautiful story like this. Krishna always exhibit wonderful pastimes. One day, Krishna wanted to, enjoy with his friends. Enjoy with his friends. He was so much attached to his friends. When his friends laugh, Krishna laughs. When his friend in disappointment, Krishna also get disappointment. When his friends become so content and fulfill that their desires, Krishna becomes so joyful and happy. So this is Krishna, dear devotees. So one day, Krishna also wanted to exchange the loving affection. Krishna wanted to give more joy to his friends. Krishna got up early in the morning and also called out his friends as well. Bhadra, Sridhama, Toke, Krishnadas, all is very, Sudama, all these friends. And then Krishna came to one Gopi's house. And then every day Krishna had a plan to steal the butter. It's mentioned that Krishna would put a new trick every day, new logic every day in order to steal the butter. Either they go in the midnight, they go and steal the butter. Either they go early morning, either they go in the daytime and nobody is there. They go very slowly. When people were sleeping in the night, they go very, hidingly and then, steal the butter. So this time Krishna was playing a very genuine trick. As if like Krishna as a, just got up from the bed and straight away went to a Gopi's house and knocked the door. And everybody, all the friends were looking what Krishna is going to do. What Krishna is going to do. So then they were all hidden, hide, behind the bushes and everywhere. They were just closely watching that what Krishna is doing. So then Krishna knocked the door. One gopi came out, and early in the morning, Gopi is surprised and then asked Krishna, Krishna, you are here early in the morning. What happened? So Krishna very softly told to that gopi, Maya, Maya, my mother asked me to come and request you to borrow some butter because of we are going to have a very great sage. He is going to come quickly. And now my mom said, Maya said that I don't have much time left. Can you go and ask and borrow some butter from you? And because of my mother's request, I came here. So then immediately this gopi got very much astonished and became happy because of Mother Yashoda never asked or do anything that borrow something like this from anybody's house. Because of Mother Yashoda would personally go and make the butter for Khanaya. And Mother Yashoda had hundreds of servants even in the house. So this gopi becomes so surprised, but also at the same time become so happy because of Mother Yashoda requested I should fulfill that. So then Krishna also would say that in order to convince her that my mom said that immediately I would return, even if you give me 1 pot of butter, my mother will return 2 pots. No worries that it will immediately return. This is because of we are going to have a sage coming into our home. So this poor gopi completely trusted Krishna. And then this gopi went inside and brought 2 pots of butter. Krishna became so, and Krishna got hold of in his 2 hands with that butter. And then not only that, this gopi again went back and brought lots of crystal sugar and as a token gift for Krishna. Krishna, this is for you because of you pleased me. You came. This is for you. Because of just seeing itself, Krishna is that pleases that everybody. So Krishna becomes so happy because of this is, double meta, as we say. So then what happened? Then this gopi closed the door as if Krishna says Krishna was walking towards his house on the bhavan. So as soon as this gopi locked the door, Krishna called out all his friends. Krishna called out all his friends and sat right down there in the courtyard of that the same gopi. Krishna started to give out the butter to each and every one of them. And they were also, not only that, Krishna was giving this crystal sugar to all of them, and they will become so happy because of the children. It's like 4 5 years old, like children, when they get the sweet butter, and along with that sweet butter, the crystal sugar and all, they become so joyful. So now the friends told to Krishna that Krishna, this is not safe to sit here. Somehow or other, this gopi come and open the door. She can catch red-handed. So let's move from here. Krishna said, no, 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 no. This gives me so much joy because of the butter we got was told the butter for that gopi and sit and eat in front of them. It gives me also great joy. They were all laughing like this. So then what happened? Then they were cracking, they were biting this crystal sugar because that makes some noise. So everybody, there are lots of friends who were around. They were also started to bite this crystal sugar. That created some noise. So inside the house, this gopi was hearing some sound. Gopi thought that some monkeys came in front of the courtyard. So then all of a sudden to look at this, what is happening outside, the gopi opened the door. And so that all Krishna and all his friends were, having this beautiful time and Krishna was sharing this butter with every one of them. And this gopi got stunned and becomes so surprised, so much in shock. Krishna, you did this. And you told me that this is your mother's need and you're giving out all this to your friends. What would a mother would think? So you know what Krishna replied? Oh, all these sages came in front of, instead of coming to my home, All these sages came to me. So Krishna was telling and considering all his friends are the great sages. So look at them. Krishna was telling to that Gopi, look at them. He's the great sage. And Krishna never tell lies. He's a great sage, and he was sage, and my friends are all very great sages. So this butter is for them, and you will also get the piety of it. Krishna was telling to that. There was one very young, friend of them, like 2, 3 years old, maybe. He was actually naked. He didn't have any dress even. Krishna was even pointing out, look at that. This is Naga Baba. See, look at that. He doesn't have any dress. He wanders all over the places without this. You should give Dandavat Pranam to this boy, this Naga Baba. So Gopi got so much furious. Gopi said, yes, yes, I'm going to give not only Pranam, I'm going to give Dandavat Pranam. So let me take a Danda. So this Gopi went back to take Danda. Then now friend says that Krishna, now we have to leave. So dear devotees, this is Krishna does to his friends. Krishna always there to protect and fulfill the desires of his friend. That's why Krishna is primary. So some way or other, that dear devotees, when we have that love and affection for Krishna, Krishna would personally appear in our heart and protect us and fulfill the desires of. So similarly, Krishna was also killing the Pralambasura, and in order to protect his devotees. So what happened? We can go through this. And one day, when Krishna was after this extinguishing the fire and told, they went to Vrindavana. They all went out to play, and they were playing so very nicely each other. And sometimes Krishna would win, and they would take up that the opposite side. Sometimes other party wins. Sometimes, even though they goes through, and all the thing is that how they can be with the Krishna, how they can be with Krishna. This is actually the desires of even the friends of Krishna. How can I be with the Krishna, even though they have to herd the cows? So they just put there and here, and sometimes they would pull the cows here and there. But their all point is that how to play with the Krishna. So they are always surrounded, and they surrounded with the Krishna. It was going like this. So, as is mentioned that the inhabitants of Vrindavana were never disturbed by the scorching heat, sun, and the high summer temperature. So it was summertime. So summer came, and even though it is severe scorching heat, the Vrindavan was not, even that too hot, because of Vrindavan was completely. It is mentioned that there were a lot of streams were there, waterfalls were there, and it splatters this water, and then nice breeze and lot of trees and so many, Mother Yamuna flowing, and the Vrindavan was always very pleasant. And it is mentioned that. So there were green grasses, various kinds of lotus flowers, such as the Kalahara, Kancha, Upatala, Utpala, and the air blowing in Vrindavan carries the aromatic pollen of those lotus flowers. When the particles of water from the waves of Yamuna, lakes, and the waterfalls touched the bodies of inhabitants of Vrindavana, they automatically felt a cooling effect. Therefore, they were practically undisturbed by the summer season. So even though summer it is hot, but they don't feel it. The reason for they don't feel it, because of Krishna is there. Krishna and Balaram is there. Vrindavan is such a place, nice place. Flowers are always blooming. There are even various kinds of decorated deer, birds are chirping, peacocks are crowing and dancing, and bees are humming. The cuckoos there sing nicely in 5 kinds of tunes. So it is so nice that in Vrindavan that everybody is there because of they are always in joy and bliss. Krishna, the reservoir of pleasure, blowing his flute, accompanied by his elder brother Balarama and other cowherd boys and the cows, entered the beautiful forest of Vrindavana to enjoy the atmosphere. They walked into the midst of newly grown leaves of trees, whose flowers resembled the peacock feathers. They were garlanded by those flowers and decorated with the saffron chalk. Sometimes they were dancing and singing, and sometimes wrestling with one another. While Krishna danced, some of the cowherd boys sang and others played on flutes. Some bugled on buffalo horns or clapped their hands praising Krishna. Dear brother, you are dancing very nicely. Actually, all these boys were demigods descended from the higher planets to assist Krishna in his pastimes. The demigods, garbed in the dress of cowherd boys, were encouraging Krishna in his dancing, just as one artist encourages another with praise. Up to that time, neither Balarama nor Krishna had undergone the hair cutting ceremony. Therefore, their hair was clustered like crows' feathers. They were always playing hide and seek with their boyfriends or jumping or fighting with them. Sometimes, while his friends were chanting and dancing, Krishna would praise them. My dear friends, you are dancing and singing very nicely. The boys played at catching ball with fruits such as bale and amalaka. They played blind man's buff, challenging and touching one another. Sometimes they imitated the forest deer and various kinds of birds. They joked with one another and imitating croaking frogs, and they enjoyed swinging underneath the trees. Sometimes they would play among themselves like a king and his subjects. In this way, Balarama and Krishna, along with all their friends, played all kinds of sports and enjoyed the soothing atmosphere of Vrindavana, full of rivers, lakes, rivuleters, fine trees, and excellent gardens filled with fruits and flowers. Once, while the boys were engaged in their transcendental pastimes, a great demon of the name Pralambasura entered their company, desiring to kidnap both Balarama and Krishna. Although Krishna was playing the part of cowherd boys as the supreme personality of Godhead, he could understand everything, past, present, and future. So when Pralambasura entered their company, Krishna began to think how to kill the demon. But externally, he received him as a friend. Oh, my dear friend, he said, it is very good that you have come to take part in our pastimes. Krishna then called all his friends and ordered them. Now we shall play in pairs. We shall challenge one another in pairs. With this proposal, all boys assembled together. Some of them took the side of Krishna, some of them took the side of Balarama, and they arranged to play in duel. The defeated members in duel fighting had to carry the victorious members on their back, as a horse carries its master. They began playing, and at the same time tended the cows as they proceeded through the Bendhiravana forest. The party of Balarama, accompanied by Sridhama and Vrishabha, came out victorious, and Krishna's party had to carry them on their backs through the Bendhiravana forest. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, being defeated, had to carry Sridhama on his back. Look at that, dear devotees. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, he makes all these wonderful pastimes. And Bhadrasena carried Vrishabha, imitating their play. Pralambasura, who appeared there as a cowherd boy, carried Balarama on his back. Pralambasura was the greatest of the demon, and he had calculated that Krishna was most powerful of the cowherd boys. So remember that. Here, Pralambasura, he was one of the strongest demon. He took a form of a cowherd boy, a small boy, as if like pretending like a innocent boy. So I'll explain that what is the significance of Pralambasura comes. So, in order to avoid the company of Krishna, Pralambasura carried Balarama away, far away. The demon was undoubtedly very strong and powerful, but he was carrying Balarama, who is compared to a mountain. Therefore, he began to feel the burden, and thus he assumed his real form. When he appeared in his real feature, he was decorated with a golden helmet and earrings and looked just like a cloud with lightning carrying the moon. Balarama observed the demon's body expanding up to the limits of the clouds, his eyes dazzling like blazing fire and his mouth flashing with sharpened teeth. At first, Balarama was surprised by the demon's appearance, and he began to wonder, how is it that all of a sudden this carrier has changed in every way? But with a clear mind, he could quickly understand that he was being carried away from his friends by a demon who intended to kill him. Immediately he struck the head of the demon with his strong fist, just as the king of the heavenly planet strikes a mountain with his thunderbolt. Stricken by the fist of Balarama, the demon fell down dead, just like a snake with a smashed head, and blood poured from his mouth. When the demon fell, he made a tremendous sound, and it sounded as if a great hill were falling upon being struck by the thunderbolt of King Indra. All the boys then rushed to the spot. Astonished by the ghastly scene, they began to praise Balarama with words, "Well done, well done." All of them then embraced Balarama with great affection, thinking that he had returned from death, and they offered their blessings and congratulations. All the demigods in the heavenly planets became very satisfied and showered flowers on the transcendental body of Balarama, and they offered their blessings and congratulations for his having killed the great demon Pralambasura. So, dear devotees, this is a beautiful, beautiful pastime. So, why Krishna allowed Balarama to kill Pralambasura? Now, this is a great topic that to be discussed. Now, look at that. Pralambasura is the one of the greatest, strongest demon. He's very powerful. His features are like a big mountain, and very strong, and thousands of elephant strength that he has. That demon again came down and played and pretended as a small child, an innocent child, and came in the company of Krishna and his devotees. So here, Acharyas, especially Sri Radhanath Maharaj, was reading this and mentioned that especially that when one pretends as same as the devotees of Krishna and acting like an innocent child, but inside that he has that somehow or other has to take advantage of the situation of that around. Either in so many ways, I may get this, I may get that, I may get this, but pretending as a devotee. So like that here, pretending as a cowherd boy is that very close to Krishna. But Krishna can understand this very clearly. So Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardhana. Krishna is seated in everyone's heart. Krishna is Andaryami. He is there inside our, because of his Paramatma. He is Bhavagrahi Janardhana. He can understand every thoughts of, every feelings of every person. Bhavagrahi, the bhava, the feelings, Krishna can understand that. So Krishna can understand if one offers something to Krishna with love or without love. Somebody on sake of just the duty, they do it. But here Krishna can understand everything, how we offer, how we approach him with love or devotion or with our own personal agenda or other desires. All Krishna can understand. So Krishna is Andaryami. Krishna is seated in our heart. So that's why when this Pralambasura came in the midst of these cowherd boys and his friends, Krishna could immediately recognize this. Krishna could immediately recognize this. So Krishna can immediately recognize that one who impostors or pretending that to be like in a devotion, we are devotees. The sincerity is the key, even though we don't stop too much or don't have ability to do whatever that too much that we can do like others. But Krishna always look for the quality of it. Even if you offer a flower with love, with the faith that, oh, I am taking this flower, oh Krishna, I am offering to you. This is all I have. Oh Lord, please accept it. With that love that you offer, Krishna accepts that. No doubt into that. But all on a sudden, I am thinking that, oh, I have so much of wealth. I have so much of this. Okay, Krishna, I have this much. Okay, I'm going to give it to you. Because of in your temple, there may not be enough, rice to enough food to prepare you for the food. That's why many people go, let me do this, let me do this. With that intention that. Other people may say, okay, I will offer you so that put my name on the notice board in a big bold letter. So Krishna can understand the agenda behind that, anything that any people does it. But Krishna always that always surrender to his devotees. He sell himself to his devotees because of when the devotees offers with the love and devotion, engage in the devotion with the love to the Supreme, Krishna would sell himself to that devotees. This is what is Krishna is looking for all the time. So I think I was mentioning on the other time that when the fruit vendor came to Gokul, and then Krishna came with like little grain in his little palm and then offered to the fruit vendor. And then Krishna was looking everything in the basket. This fruit vendor was giving the fruits to Krishna. Krishna can't even hold everything. But Krishna is still looking at the basket that anything left there. So Acharya says that, dear devotees, when we offer something to Krishna, we should offer 100%. 100% love and devotion to Krishna, that nothing else. So this is what is Krishna is looking for all the time. But on the other side, when the people are there with this, all the bad intentions or really, the desires that they have, oh, I should get this, I should get this, I should get this, and pretend like that I am this, I am that, I am so and so, I am so and so. Krishna could easily understand that. Then Krishna would make a plan. So that's why Krishna made Balaram to remove that, ignorance or that andhaka. So remember that whenever there is some kinds of ignorance and foolishness and andhakar that they are pretending they are behaving like a devotee, so Krishna would personally won't come. Because of Krishna is even little bit, because of here, Krishna accepted Pralambasura as the friend and he allowed him to play in his company. He allowed him, Krishna. Krishna is so merciful. But there is some little impurities was there in the heart of Pralambasura. So who appointed to kill Pralambasura? The Balaram. And we know that we were celebrating this Balaram Jayanti yesterday, and we discussed many times that Balaram is the Adi Guru. Balaram is the original spiritual master. Like Dhenukasura, like an ass kind of behavior. Who kills Dhenukasura? Balaram. Because when he kills, he's not killing that actually is just the body, right? That changing the body, but they get the liberation as well. So when Guru comes and gives us and eradicate all our anarthas from our heart, that means we are getting deliverances. So that's the signifies that why Balaram killed Pralambasura, because of eradicating all this childish activity, pretendence, and all these anarthas that which has in the heart. So that when Balaram comes and kill and take care of this, then that means Balaram is taking care of all these anarthas from our heart. So this is the reason that Balaram killed Pralambasura, like Dhenukasura and likes that. And we've explained that also Ramakarshana Sudha. So Krishna, Balaram killed Ramakarshana because of that pride and false ego. So anything with respect to that, people taking disadvantages of these scriptures, taking disadvantages of the garb of a devotee, taking disadvantages of these various spiritual activities. So Balaram is there to control them, to correct them. That's why we should always take shelter of the Guru, the spiritual master, so that we get that knowledge, so that the Guru can take away haranam, take away or kill that all the anarthas from our heart, so that we can also regain our original consciousness. So then Balaram killed the Pralambasura with his one fist. The huge mountain-like demon fall down dead. Just one, punch with his fist. That's all we need. That's all we need. Sometimes we get that. Some kind of punches, some kind of chastisement, some kinds of setbacks and all. This is nothing but to, correct us, to take us back to Krishna. So whoever come in contact with Krishna and Balaram, dear devotees, they were actually, in one sense, they are fortunate because of they had the opportunity to touch Krishna and Balaram for some way or other from his, and they, kind of get the deliverances and they get liberation because of the presence and the touch of Krishna and Balaram. And we know that all this Jaya and Vijaya, because of they were originally the personal assistants of Krishna. They became various forms. So similarly, we all are eternally part and parcel of that supreme, eternal servants of Krishna because of our unwanted desires. We are, wandering. We are falling down in this material world, and we are also acting like a demon. So many personal agenda and desires and anarthas that we completely, devoured with in our hearts. So we should definitely listen to this so that we all can take shelter of Krishna and Balaram. This way we all can eradicate so that our life will become perfect and understand that what is most significance for our life, that somehow or other that we engage in the loving devotional service to the Supreme and understanding that it is our eternal nature. That's why Balaram is coming. Balaram is coming to remind us, to take us back to Krishna with giving this knowledge that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. So ultimately that we should all follow the footsteps of Balaram. That's why Adi Guru, footsteps, and follow that spiritual masters, follow that Guru, because of Balaram is there for Krishna only. So this is our eternal relationship. This is the eternal science or transcendental science that the Adi Guru Balaram shows us, that we all should follow these footsteps of completely surrender to Krishna. Balaram, even the elder brother of Krishna, completely surrendered to Krishna. There is nothing that which Balaram does separate from Krishna. Always to fulfill the desires of Krishna, that's Balaram is there. Lakshman was there and always there to fulfill the desires of Sri Ram. So this is the Balaram, Adi Guru, Adi Shesha, Ananda. So Balaram is there for us. So getting the mercy of Balaram, dear devotees, how one can get the mercy of Balaram? Or sincere devotion to the Lord. So when we have that sincerity, purity and sincerity, and that love for Krishna, with that whatever we do, with a sincere effort, sincere love and devotion, that's where Balaram is getting placed. Balaram gets pleased only by those sincere devotion, not like a pretending devotion or like in the disguise of a devotee. No, Balaram doesn't like that. That's why we always like offenses. The Balaram doesn't like the offenses to his devotees of Krishna. Guru Avagnya, Guru Ninna. This all Balaram doesn't like. We should be always careful about the offenses making against the devotees and the spiritual master and the gurus and the Guru Varga. Should always have that, because of always remember that what we are anyway, what we are trying to prove to this. Everybody knows that one day we are going to go. How long? But all that we have is the devotees, that the time we have right now with us, that's the only time that we have to utilize properly. Understanding this, surrender ourselves to that lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. This way Balaram get pleased the most. When a disciple does follow the footsteps of spiritual master, naturally, without even asking, without even doing anything, naturally that spiritual master blessings comes upon that devotee. When Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj went to Russia to distribute books, Srila Prabhupada came to know that even Russia, this was prohibited that distribute any kind of religious, there is no religious freedom. Any kind of religious material is prohibited to distribute in Russia. The Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj was, in the train, hidingly covered and distributing the books and staying in the toilet, even chanting, sitting inside the toilet. And then Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj was the top book distributor on that time. And Srila Prabhupada heard this, that this devotee, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, went to Russia and distributed books, and he came at the top of. And Srila Prabhupada becomes so pleased, the sincere devotion. Srila Prabhupada didn't tell Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj go to Russia. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj took out this service to please, to follow the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada. And just hearing this, Srila Prabhupada becomes so pleased, so pleased. Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter back to Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. I'm so much touched by your devotion. When a spiritual master says this one to a devotee, dear devotees, always remember that Lord Balaram is pleased. Yasya prasadan bhagavat prasado yasya prasadan nagati kudopi. Yayamstu vamstasya Yasastra Sandhya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam. When the Guru is placed, the Krishna is placed. Who is this representing this Guru? Balaram. Guru is pleased, Krishna is pleased. Asya prasadam bhagavat prasadu. Asya prasada nagati kudopi. When the Guru is not pleased, the Krishna is not pleased. So always remember, dear devotees, this fact of it. We should be always, when we take initiation, when we take up these serious commitments to serve Guru and Krishna and his devotees, we should mean it. It's not that just what is called the lip service. We should not take, lip service, anybody can do it. All we need is actually to engage in that very loving devotion to the Lord. And this way that the Guru is placed. So sometimes, Guru is not present. We cannot see the Guru personally and we are not far away from it. But Guru's Vani, Guru's instructions are the most important that we should follow. Guru's instruction. When we follow that Guru's instruction, that's what is Guru is pleased directly or indirectly. So this was book distribution was one of the best that Srila Prabhupada, whomever Srila Prabhupada hears that, oh, this devotee distributed books, Srila Prabhupada become so pleased by that service. And then also we notice that also from the Srila Prabhupada's very, very letters that we could see that those who are engaged in the book distribution service, they become so advanced in the in the spiritual process very quickly because of their selfless service which pleased Srila Prabhupada. So when it's pleased the Guru and devotees, their devotees, that means Balaram is pleased, then naturally they come in very well in advance in their knowledge, in their so many ways, their humility, and they transforms very quickly in the spiritual path. So it's very, very important your devotees understand this principle and this tattva to please the Guru. That means to please Balaram. So we should always humble in all respect, not to see the negativity or the bad side of everybody in this world has good and bad characters. And if we are just looking the bad side of it, then that is because of it's reflecting our heart. Because we are bad, that's why we are always looking for the bad in others. When we see the good in others, that's what is we are reflecting our heart because our heart is good. That's why we are seeing the good in others. So we should always remember this, how we can see. And if we are just looking at that, just the bad side of it, then we'll be also become like that only. I always give this example. If you take a water in a cup, it was just half filled. And we always see that, oh, this is the other side is not filled, it's empty. We don't realize that the other side, the half of the glass is already filled. So we should always see that even if some small spark in anybody's heart, we should always fan it. We should always fan it so that it sprouts, it comes up nicely. So that should be our mood and attitude. This is the way that we serve the devotees and Krishna, the temple. When we serve the temple, because of temple is Balaram, is abode. Who is manifested as temple? Balaram is manifested as temple. When we keep tidy and clean and organized nicely, whom we are serving? We are serving Balaram and we are serving spiritual master. When we see something in the temple is disorganized or here and there, we should immediately do that to clean up very nicely. So who is pleased? Balaram is pleased. Because service to Balaram. So like that, dear devotees, anything that which we sincerely do at the lotus feet of Krishna, and then Balaram sees that the sincere, Bhavagrahi Krishna, then Balaram is pleased so nicely. So then Balaram is pleased, then Krishna is pleased. So this is the principle of it. So thank you so much for joining this wonderful, wonderful association and this Krishna Kada that every day we go through, understanding these principles and tattvas. So and this is not to just take it through the 1 year and then leave it. And this is for to apply in our life. Okay. So thank you so much. Let me stop here. I think it's a little over 8. Thank you so much, dear devotees. I would humbly request that if anybody would like to have some reflections, would you like to add something or any other comments or any questions, please go ahead. Hare Krishna. Hari Hari.
He's gonna, she's gonna go at 9. Okay. Me? I'm not going at 9. That's not fair. I have like
Hari
2000.
Bol. Hari
Hare-
Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat
Hare Krishna
Pranam.
Mataji. Dandot
It's
Pranam. All good.
You gave us a lot of inspiration to do the service for the Lord.
Yes. That's what it is. We should always see that. We always look for service because of that pleases Balaram. Balaram is always in the service of Krishna. Not even a single moment without. Always to please Krishna. That's our nature. That's what is Balaram in the form of a guru that is there.
And if you keep looking, you always find it. Something you always find.
Yes. Always do the service. Service is the most. It says that service is the supreme. And what we do, even if you go back to the Lord service, and what the devotees surrounded by Krishna service. Even it is mentioned that in Goloka Vrindavan, everything is so the palaces, the kunjas, and everything is so pure and completely pure. But still, the devotees go there and clean again because of they should feel that when my Krishna comes, there's not even 0.1% of that impurity, even the completely pure, but their consciousness is like that.
Mm-hmm.
They would clean it again. They would wash. Everything would be properly organized. Every step, the flowers and the petals, even they feel that when Krishna comes, he should put his feet on my petals. There's a competition for it. Even the trees have competition for it. So when Krishna comes, the trees, they bend down and offer their flowers to Krishna and such a fragrant colors. And then there is a group of like Radharani's team and Krishna's team. They were competing each other. When Krishna's team, Krishna comes, they offer the flowers to Krishna, then all on a sudden Radharani's team and those trees, they would come forward. Oh, this is more fragrant. Offer it. Krishna, please take it. This is the way that each and every inhabitants of Vrindavana is behaving. And this is what completely surrender. They don't have anything that they're on. So service that we have to that, all this devotion, whatever we are practicing here today, to come to that level of selfless service to Krishna, nothing else. Somehow or other, we should have that selfless service to Krishna. 100%. So that's the way we get eligibility, we get qualified to go back to Krishna. And if you have even little bit tinges of disease that we have our own, that is called anarthas. So we pray to Krishna, somehow or other, then Krishna would eradicate that. So that's what is all these wonderful pastimes reveals to us.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandvat Pranam.
Thank you. Very nice. Anything else? Anybody else? Any reflection, dear devotees? There's so many other devotees. Mukhi Mataji, Sachirani Mataji, Balram Nitai Prabhu, Satyavam Mataji, Vasanta Mataji, Shesha Karuna Prabhu, Ide, Kaniga Mataji, Paramananda Chaitanya Prabhu. Yeah. Anything you would like to add? Any discussions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam.
Dandot Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhuji for very nice nectar. Like we had Balram Jayanti and now Krishna Janmashtami is coming up. So it's good like hearing about Krishna Katha continuously. So our mood will be always engrossed in Krishna and then we can do more nice devotional service.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
It was
that's
nice.
that's a understand. That's why we are all putting together this wonderful festivity so that we can engage in the service some or other more services.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Hearing is the best service.
hearing
Hearing.
is the best service,
Yeah.
and then also engage. Like when the Janmashtami comes, we all should think, how can I serve Krishna? His
Mm,
appearance day is coming.
yeah.
Some way or other, like some people, like, just for an example, like in a family there is some weddings are coming. So what
Mm,
these family members, all they what they do, they print the cards, they invite the people, they all do, everybody together. It's because of its very jubilant and very joyous moments. Similarly, this is the most joyous and jubilant moment of that Krishna's appearance day, that Krishna's appearance day is coming. So
yeah.
somehow or other, we all should engage even little bit of service. Oh, this is Krishna's appearance day. That okay, let me invite some of my neighbors. When we
Mm,
have nobody even telling you, but it's from your heart. You are just gone out and tell that okay, this is my Lord's appearance day. Please come
mm,
and celebrate. That itself is good enough. Krishna would see that sincerity and the purity of that the heart. He would be so pleased just by that small act. The likes
absolutely.
that even. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's so Krishna would see that. Somebody
Mm,
come and that day and do something. Okay, Krishna, let me offer some flowers to you on is your appearance day. Let me get something. Let me make a bhoga for you nicely. Let me beautify, change your dress today, Krishna. Today is your appearance day. Let me make your turban so nice. Let me decorate you. Let me paint you. Let me do something. Let me offer some bhoga to you. Or let me clean your floor, oh Krishna, so that you can see that everything is so nice for you.
mm,
If there is no bulb, okay, let me put a bulb there. Let me clean or wash that the doorsteps are dirty. Let me take some water. Or the clutters or this trashes around. Let me pick up. The devotees, pujaris may be inside cleaning this, decorating this. But Krishna would see that those devotees picking up the trash and putting, that's Krishna would value most because of that's a sincere service. That's a
yeah.
sincere service. Pujari may do obligations. Okay, this is my service today. I would do so that I get, that this those. But here on the other side, nobody even noticed. No one even noticed that somebody comes and let me clean this trash. But Krishna would notice that. Krishna
Mm,
would notice that. This is the way that we should see our devotions, not that okay, let me always in the limelight, okay, so that my photos are captured, my names will be there, so I can do that, I can do this, so that everybody will be notice me. No, that's our personal agenda. We put ourselves in front. But sincere devotion means that how my Krishna will be placed. What can I do for that? No liking, okay, I need to get name and fame and pradishta, puja. These are all anarthas basically, and this takes away from Krishna. And how it takes away? Because of Balaram sees this. Sees this Pralambasura took away Balaram. Why Pralambasura took away Balaram? Because this is the same way that these anarthas take away from us from Krishna. So anarthas will always take us away from Krishna. But on the other hand, sincerely, whatever, no matter what I good name or bad name I get it. But if I continuously, sincerely serve Krishna in whatever the capacity that we have, Krishna would be so pleased with that. Balaram would be pleased with that. That's where we have to come to that. That's what is, Krishna is mentioning about the sages. Krishna likes them. Even though little child is there without an interest, Krishna would directly go, this is a Naga Baba, you know, because of they are all great sages and great devotees that they come to in this pastimes of Krishna. Krishna never tell lies. Krishna says, oh, these are the Babas, means that they are the Babas, they are the sages. They took a birth in this along with Krishna too, that Krishna was fulfilling their desires like that. So the devotees having this sincere, pure The heart for the service of Krishna, that's the most of everything. So we should come to that plane and come to that platform of sincere service to Krishna in all respect. Whatever service we can do that. Just by, even if when you come to the temple, see that what can I do? What can I do? It's not that what can I get it from the temple. What can I give and what can I do for the devotees and the temple? Always remember that. Rather than, okay, I will get this, I'll get this, I'll get this, I'll get. No, not that. That's not really the devotion. That is personal agenda. That, okay, I can get, I can. No. If that's it, the Krishna would look at how can I do something? How can I give something? How can I serve, devotees? How can I do this one? Some way or other, engage in the service somewhere. What there are so many services in the temple, so many services. If you are good in talking, talk to the people that, oh, please come again, and this is what it is. If you are good in serving, go and serve the devotees. Is some, I know that there was one family, then Kishore Kinger family. Whenever they come, they just don't simply talk to the people, sit there on the corner and chat and, spend time socialization. What they do, they come and take the water again and go to each person and, can I serve you? You need a water. Serving. This is the service. This is the purity and the heart that we need. Rather than just sit somewhere and talk to the people and all the politics that happened, this happened, this. The devotees temple is not for that. Temple is an opportunity that how we can get more closer to Krishna, more connected with the Krishna and his devotees. No prajalpa in the temple. And it's not the place for prajalpa in the temple. As long as you are there, dear devotees, and see that what can I do, what service I can do. If the chairs are not in order, put it in the right order. If there are some trash, pick up and put it in the trash can. If there are children running around, just make sure that they don't fall down, or make sure that they goes to their parents. And yesterday after the program, I saw that there are lots of plates who are just wandering around. Just people doesn't even care about that. The plate that they ate, they just put it there and they just left and go. It's not devotion. So when it comes to temple, this the Lord is right there. The Lord sees everything. So it's very important that what we do. It's not that what important what we talk about. It's important that what we do for the Lord and his devotees. So whenever we come, sees that what is there to serve, how I can serve. If something is missing, something is there, someone is needed, so ask for the devotees, how can I serve, how can I serve. This is places most to the Balaram and Krishna devotees. So it's very, very important to understand this fundamental and the basic things. Anyway, after this, we are going to take the Vaishnava etiquette, the classes, and it all tells us that, what we need to do. But the most important things that always, that the mood of service attitude with the humility, the humbleness, and always mood of service that how can I serve, what can I do. Some if you are good in distributing books, do that. Serving or cooking, some maybe devotee is very good in cooking, help in the cooking, and come for services like that. And if you have so many, you don't need to waste our life, dear devotees. When we get the weekends, okay, let me go here, let me go there, let me do that, let me do this, that, this, those. It's all waste of time. You're just simply wasting our life. So always remember all these things, dear devotees. When you come to the temple and the devotees, always seek for the devotee association, always seek for the services, always seek for that, how can I, that attitude that how can I serve rather than how can I serve. Okay? How can I serve rather than how can I serve. Always remember that we should always think all these things in the devotion. This pleases most the Guru and Krishna. Okay, that's what it signifies, all this. Okay. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody?
Prabhuji, I think we should make that like prasadan time, limited time, like 7:30 it start, 8:30 everybody should come out. Otherwise, what happens? Just people are talking like so many things. I don't think everybody is talking about Krishna only,
No.
right? That habit, Prabhuji, they say other temple like Swaminarayan temple, They come limited time. That time only they come and
Yeah.
they help clean, Prabhuji. Everyone, like how you
Everyone
mentioned,
has to clean their
plates are,
place and the place and so many things.
we have that consciousness, Prabhuji, right? We have to make some kind of rules. Like
Yeah.
8:30, by 8:30, everybody should leave the temple hall, keeping our plates and everything just cleaned up.
Yeah.
Slowly, slowly, we have to make that habit, Prabhuji, because I see just they are sitting there talking and means I know so many people just they are there. Even they don't come to take a darshan.
Yeah.
Darshan.
Yeah, there are so many things. Yes, yes.
Yeah, so
It's all
that's
there. We are slowly getting there. Yes, I agree that.
yeah.
And there are different consciousness level of people are there. That is there that we cannot simply, avoid that all. It's
I know,
there. So
yeah.
that we should very politely, we should be very humbly and
Politely, yeah,
slowly,
yeah.
slowly bring to the level of that.
Anyway, now winter will start, so it will get dark soon, and everybody has to come home quickly. So we can just make that politely, not like
Yeah. Yeah.
harsh, like
Yeah.
forcing someone. But if there is a rule, people will follow, Prabhuji, right?
Yeah.
If they will know, oh, okay, yeah, we had to leave before this time. Now, oh, till 9 o'clock also they are sitting there, not coming for the darshan also. So that is not. And we can't say to each person, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought like we should have like that.
Yeah, of course, it should also come from their heart as well. That makes more effect rather than somebody insisting them. So slowly, 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 when they hear and more, the purity is the force, right? So the purity is the force. When we hear and chant and gain service more and more, its heart becomes more pure. Then it's make big effect. Then if somebody say one day, okay, this is the rule, it may not that impact.
Yeah.
That they may like 1 2 days they may come. Then they have other. So the purity is the force.
Yeah.
Slowly they have to hear and engage slowly, slowly, and that's why we give the opportunity. We try to serve them. They also engage them in the service, so that hearts get become more pure and soft. So they understand all this, and slowly, slowly, slowly they come to the service of. Then that makes more difference. Yeah, let's all try to do that. Somehow or other engage others in the service. This way they get purified. That's
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Danda pranam, all yours,
Or
Shri
worship. Yeah.
Mataji raised an excellent point, and I think
Yep.
we haven't ever communicated, what should be the code of conduct in the temple, like for in terms of. This could go on as the announcements, or in when we wind up the program and people start going for prasadam.
Yeah.
Just a humble request to everybody.
Yes. So that's why the first we are going to have this Vaishnava etiquette classes. So we'll discuss all this, and then also slowly, we'll put some notes out there that this is what is we need to do, and then slowly we can bring up to that level of the consciousness that what is the etiquette that when you come to temple. Set a minimum level. Yeah.
That is good, but it's just the basic general etiquette. Like go to a temple, a public place, or how to maintain it, and let devotees know, or visitors know that by this time, please be done. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, thank you.
I think I agree with you and Mataji. What Mataji also said, if there are no rules, then everything becomes very loosey-goosey.
Very
right?
fluid. Yeah.
Correct. Once we set rules, then we can kind of say, okay, if you can please do this or that.
Yeah, totally agree that. I mean, Madhuri Prabhu had something in the plan. He was planning to post it on at least on the website as well. That this is what is we need to follow. Yeah, good point, Madhuri. Okay. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody else? Any other reflections, thoughts? Any questions, comments? Okay. Thank you so much. 8:25. Let's conclude today's session. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for joining today. Let's pray together. Vancha kalpatarubhasya prabha sindhu bhevacha Adidanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Vaishnavrunda ki jai. Niraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananda Gaudi Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai,
Jai.
Gaura Premanande, Hari
Hari
Hari.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Thank you, Ravi. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.